Hi everyone, welcome to the Mississippi Children's Museum. Today we are doing Farm Bureau Spotlight, which is sponsored by the Farm Bureau of Mississippi. Today we're going to talk about honeybees. Have you guys ever gone out in your backyard and seen honeybees flying around in the flowers? Well, these little guys are actually really important. They are insects and they pass through 4 stages of life: egg, larva, pupa, and adult. This cycle can take 16 to 24 days. Can you imagine if you grew up in just 24 days? That would be really fast. Bees live in colonies called hives, and there are 3 types of bees in each colony: worker bees, a queen bee, and drone bees. Worker bees are female. They feed the larva, protect the hive, keep the hive clean, and create wax to make new cells. So when you look at a beehive, and I have a photo, well, a drawing right here, these little cells right here, those are what the worker bees create out of wax. They also groom and feed the queen and collect the nectar to make honey. The queen bee lays eggs. That's her most important job because she's the mother of the whole hive. She looks a little different from the other bees because she is longer and skinnier. She can be hard to spot in a colony of bees though, and sometimes beekeepers will mark the queen with some special paint. Drone bees are male bees. They're bigger than the other bees, and they are there to mate with the queen so she can lay her eggs. Bees make honey, and they start by collecting nectar from flowers with their tongue, which is called a proboscis. To collect enough nectar, a bee must visit up to 1,500 flowers. Have you ever seen that many flowers in your whole life? A bee has to visit that many flowers. This also helps the plants because the bees spread pollen from plant to plant. So this is something that makes the bees very important, and we need to protect the bees when we see them. So this photo right here shows the bees collecting nectar from the flowers. After drinking the nectar, the bees fly back to the hive, which is this illustration right here. They pass the nectar to other bees who start to create the honey inside the cells in the hive. Beekeepers then harvest the honey by collecting the honeycombs and removing the honey. They have to be very careful to leave enough honey for the bees as well. So here's a little drawing of a beekeeper who's collecting honey from the hives. The best kind of honey to buy is pure honey. We have a photo of a honey pot right here. This guarantees that nothing was added and that you are getting your honey almost straight from the hive. So we have a little activity we can do today. We're going to create our own bee. So what you need is some yellow paint, some black paint, a paper plate, and a paintbrush. So what I did was I went ahead and I poured some of my yellow paint on the plate, and I'm going to spread it around so that my whole plate is yellow. What do you guys think we're making? What color are bees? Are they yellow? We're making a bee today with our paper plate. So if you spread it kind of thick, it's going to take a little while to dry. But if you make sure you spread your paint thinner, it'll dry faster, and then you can hang your art up, or you can give it to one of your grown-ups and you don't have to worry about smudging the paint. And be careful of your clothes. Depending on what kind of paint you use, you want to make sure it'll wash out of your clothes. Want to make sure we cover the plate as much as we can. If there's still some spots that aren't yellow, that's okay. So there's my paper plate covered mostly in yellow paint. And the next thing we're going to do, I'm using a second paper plate to put my paint on. We're going to make thumbprints. So bees, as you can see in this picture right here, are yellow with black stripes. That's what honeybees look like. And so we're going to use our black paint and our thumbs to make some stripes on our bees. So I'm going to dip my thumb in the paint, and you can kind of dab it off a little if you don't want too much paint on there. And we're going to take our thumb and just go straight across the paper plate. You're going to have to add some paint as you go because you're going to run out of paint on your fingers. So I'm not going to make a lot of stripes because that would take a while, but you guys can do this and make stripes all the way across, just like a bee. And when you're done, you can use your finger and give him 2 little eyes. Oh, my paint is a little wet right there. Let's do it on this side. We can give him 2 eyes, and if you want to get even more creative, you can take some paper and you can cut out some antenna and either tape or glue it to your page. You could even make him some wings. We would love to see how creative you get with your bees at home. Make sure you tag us at MCM at home and show us your masterpieces. Get super creative with your bees and show us. Thank you for watching Farm Bureau Spotlight.